This is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics with our algorithmic trading report for end of day Wednesday, February 26th. Amazing day today again. The theme for today is trading by the numbers. If this day looked random and crazy, it was crazy. It was not random. I want to pull the chart back out just for a moment, and this will get these labels will get a little bit jumbled, but I just wanted to share with you a couple things. The 225 day session low was 31.17. So when it came up into 31, we got long a couple of occasions, booked some handles. When it came up into that 52.53 was the key area in Globex last night. It couldn't get above it. So pull the chart back out. In the morning, one of the first things that we do is we run our algorithmic pivots. And the most important number of the day is this one right here, the daily algo bull bear pivot. Today it was 31.5281. Now the day session opens at 9:30 Eastern time. This is produced about 8 o'clock. And we post this for our subscribers, and you can see right here, 31.5281. So we knew that level was going to be important. It was important yesterday. It was important last night. When the algorithm indicated that 52.81 level as today's most important price, the daily algo bull bear pivot, it wasn't a surprise. So we came down here. The Globex low Tuesday evening was 30.91. So we had an opportunity to get long early in the day, and the long trade went much farther than I thought, but we booked a nice number of handles. But what's interesting about it is you had this move down to 30.91. Then you had a 90 handle move back that stopped at 31.82. Now, we were shorting right up into this, and I legged into it. So the average of the trade was right here at 31.78. Now, why would you do such a thing after a 90 handle move? Well, our multi-day trend pivot was right here at 31.8154. And again, this was put out before the market opened. Right here, 31.8154. So we've got a trend algo that's we call a short cycle and then a long cycle. The long cycle's way up at 32.85. We knew going into the day that it was a very remote probability of hitting this. But this 31.81, now granted, the market surprises you. This move went a whole lot farther than I thought. Now, what happened when price found acceptance above that 52.81? Remember, that was the key level last night. That was the daily bull bear pivot going into the day. Well, when you had movement above that, it came back and tested it, and then you had this move up to 81. Now, we don't blind fade, and blind fading means, for example, let's say price gets really extended. Blind fading is, imagine there were none of these algorithmic pivots on the chart, and you just say, you know what, this is getting ridiculous, I'm shorting right here. You've got no level, no metric, no algo to lean against. That's blind fading. It's a shot in the dark. Same thing if you're buying down here, or there's nothing down here. So this was not a blind fade. This was a calculated trade because it came right up into this pivot. I mean, literally within 2 ticks. So when it got close to that pivot, I put out on our subscriber Slack channel that I was going to leg into this position. So I put a little bit on here and I put a little bit on here, and the average of that trade was 78.50, I believe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I caught all this move down. I didn't. This surprised me on the upside. It surprised me on the downside, but still, it was a very profitable trade. Now, I rarely leave the desk during the day. This afternoon at midday, we've got 4 kids. I had to run out for a little bit. And guarantee that's when things happen. I rarely leave the office during the trading day. I had something I had to attend to. And what's interesting is what happened after this came down. So I took profits on it down here, I think around 60. And on a 3 lot, 20 handle move, that's a lot of handles. So here's what happened while I was out during the day. And all these levels are already on the chart. When we produce these pivots in the morning, we put this out for our subscribers on the Slack channel so they can see We call this a data sheet. So they can see the data sheet and see where all these levels are. But when they're generated, we also put these right on the chart. And so on the live chart that our subscribers have access to, that you can see moving tick by tick throughout the day, these levels are already on here. So what did it do? It came down into 3127. Well, 3127 was the day session low yesterday. Now here's what's fascinating. Remember, the daily bull bear pivot was 3152.81. That was put out before the market opened. You come up here, you have price acceptance, boom, it goes all the way up here. What happens when it comes down and loses that? Same thing, you get acceleration down. So here's your daily pivot, 52.81. You break it, then you come down hard to 27. Now here's what's interesting. Where did it stop? Can you see how precise that is? This daily bull bear pivot, if all we gave our subscribers for what we charge for a subscription is this daily bull bear pivot, it would be more than worth it. It's important every day. Every single day since we put this metric out, price interacts importantly with this daily bull bear pivot. And the cool thing is, as a member, you get this before the day session opens. So it comes up here, I mean, literally bullseye. And then you have a hard move down. Now, this midday pivot is also very important. The three most important pivots we put out are the daily bull bear pivot, the midday pivot, and what we call our X5 pivot. The X5 pivot comes out mid-morning. The midday pivot comes out a little bit before 12:30. The X5 pivot, let's talk about that first. The X5 pivot, and if you're watching this and you do institutional trading or build institutional algorithms, you know exactly what this level is. In an uptrend, this is the level where the algorithms buy the dip reflexively. Well, we're not in an uptrend anymore. So what happens? You had this blow-off move up here. You come down, and where does this stop? It stopped at the confluence of the daily bull bear pivot at 52.81 and the X5 pivot that's released mid-morning. It's 53.86. And so now that we're not in a short-term or intermediate-term uptrend anymore, what happens when you get into these X5 pivots? Well, you can see. Now instead of price coming down and finding support and the algos reflexively buying the dip, well, what they're doing is they're selling it because what used to be support is now resistance. And then it just fell apart at the end of the day. It failed at the daily bull bear pivot. When it came up in here, it failed at the X5 pivot. And then it could not hold the midday pivot. So you had all this move right back down. So this is going to be a short video tonight because this picture tells the entire story. But if you're struggling trying to figure out what these markets are doing, why they're doing it, the why doesn't matter. All that matters is the math. It doesn't matter what's on the news. If you have the TV on during the day, tune to one of the financial channels. I recommend you turn the volume off. It's not going to do any good. I have the TV on here at the desk, but I have the sound off. And the only reason I have it on is so out of the corner of my eye, if I see a headline, okay, then we'll factor into our decision matrix how that may or may not affect the tape. But this day was totally by the numbers. But what you have to do is you have to let things develop. If you have this move down to 30.91 and you're trying to short every one of these, you get run over here, you get run over here, you get run over here. Let the trade come to you. When you have this type of roadmap each and every day, I'm not going to tell you it makes trading easy. There's nothing easy about these markets. But this isn't blind fading. It came up exactly into this level. And the beauty about having algorithms is when it comes into a level like this, in this case, we took a short, legged into it, and so the average was like 31.78, 78.5. The beauty of that is when you're taking a position against an algorithmic pivot, you know within a couple handles whether you're going to be wrong or not. And that helps you manage risk. So imagine we didn't have any of this on the chart, and this is just coming up here, and you're just rolling the dice trying to fade this. Okay, you might be right, you might be wrong. But the beauty of having the precision of these algos is that you take a position against one of these algos, and you know within a couple handles if you're wrong. So that gives you a level of tight risk management So you can take a shot without risking a whole lot on the trade. As for our automated algos, on the left side of your screen, you see our swing trading algo, which is a real long cycle. And then here you have our day trading algo. What happened? Day trading algo got long in here. Where was it? A little after 8 o'clock. And then it flipped short about 3-4 hours later, 3.5 hours later. Anytime our day trading algo flips that quickly, from, in this case, long to short, or flips from short to long, this algo knows how to filter out the nonsense. And usually it takes very precise time and price for it to trigger. But as a rule, when this algo flips within a couple hours like it did here, you're going to get a big move. And I'll show you another example of that. Here's another example where it flipped. Right in here, on Friday, it got long right in here. And then it was only maybe an hour and a half later that it flipped short. And that is the shortest amount of time this algo has ever flipped from either long to short or short to long. And the shorter the time frame it takes for this to flip, the more violent the move is going to be, because it tells you this initial move was nonsense. And you see what you got after that. And if we take a look over here at our swing trading algo, I mean, this thing's crazy. This has been short since around 33.80. Came all the way down here, got this move down all the way down here into the low 3200s. And here again, it got long right in here, like 32.44, and very quickly flipped. And I mentioned this on our live chart because I'm on the mic all day long, and our members know this. Our members know when these algos flip quickly, you better get out of the way, get out of your long position in this case, because there's going to be something ugly. And it's just a beautiful thing when you have the combination of these automated algorithms, and you can see right here, that's where it triggered. But the combination of our automated algorithms with these fixed horizontal algorithmic pivot points, again, I'm not going to say the trading is easy. It's never easy. Sometimes the market's more generous and gives you handles in bushel baskets. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth just to pull a few handles out of the market. So this isn't easy. But when you've got the same type of time price algorithms that the institutions are using, it makes it a whole lot easier. Now, and I want to make one more point. Let me go back over here to the bigger chart. The reason it's so profitable, and again, past performance is not indicative of future results. You know how that goes. But one of the reasons that this system is so profitable, because it taps into the same time price algorithms the institutions use. And you're probably saying, well, how do you know that? Well, it shows you right here. If you and I and everybody watching this video and every person we've ever met pooled our trading accounts together, it would not matter a hill of beans, and it wouldn't be able to stop this market at all. Now, you take the institutions with the money that they have, it'll stop on a dime. And when you see this, if you've been watching our videos, you see this day after day after day where the market stops on a dime at these algorithmic pivots. Now, why does it do that? A, because it's very, very good math. And B, because it taps into the same algos the institutions use. That is the only way you can have this level of precision, because you and I can't make the market stop like this in reverse. We can't make the market stop like this in reverse. But they can, with the amount of money that they can deploy. And so if you're trying to trade these markets and you're trading against the institutions because that's your competition, well, they're going to beat you almost every time. Well, why bother to trade when they've got an unbelievable edge over you? Well, we give you that same edge. You know where the algorithmic pivot levels are that are important to the institutional algos. And that way, all we're doing is following along with what they're doing. We wait to see the market reveal its hand, and boom. And I knew when I left the office midday this kind of thing was going to happen, but it was a very, very profitable day for a day where I think a lot of traders are trying to figure out all day long, should I be long, should I be short, should I sit on my hands? So I just wanted to share something very briefly with you. Our website is mercurysignals.com. Punch that in. It'll take you to our website. And I wanted to point out, we've been running a winter special since the first of the year. It's 62% off our regular rates. That sale is ending on the 28th. So it's ending this Friday. Now, one of the cool things we do is whatever rate you subscribe to our service, that's your membership rate for life. It doesn't matter if the rate goes up. We give you a lifetime rate lock, and there's no contracts. We don't bill you monthly. We bill you every 2 weeks. So you're not committing to, at any point, you're not committing to a month. We give you the freedom and flexibility that you're only billed every 14 days. But the cool thing is your rates are locked in for life, and they are going up. So if you're at all interested in our systems, if you've seen these videos, if you'd like to have this kind of edge, the rates are going up after Friday. So you can go to our website, you can find out more about our systems. If you have any questions, you can email me at markanthony@mercurysignals.com, markanthony@mercurysignals.com. We thank you so much for your time. As always, God bless you, God bless your family, and we hope to see you again soon.